Welcome to the video. I'm going to be going over the library find programming challenge in HackerRank. It's an easy problem, 90% success rate, shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so what we got here is it says your local library needs your help given the expected and actual return dates for a library book. Create a program that calculates the fine, if any. The fee structure is as follows. If the book is returned on or before the expected return date, no fine will be charged. If the book is returned after the expected return date, but still within the same calendar month and year as the expected return date, the fine is 15 hackos, interesting, times the number of late days. If the book is returned after the expected return month, but still within the same calendar year, 500 hackos. Holy crap, that's tough. If the book is returned after the calendar year in which it was expected, there is a fixed fine of 10,000 hackos. That's big tough. The charges are based on only the least precise measure of lateness. For example, whether a book is due January 1st, 2017 or December 31st, it is returned. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is I generally like to just print the input that they give me so that there can be no mistaking basically what it is that I'm working with here. Alright, and with the way TypeScript works, if you don't return a number and it expects you to, it'll just get really mad. Oh, I'm working on TypeScript, which is like so random, but the reason I'm doing that is like TypeScript's practical and the syntax, I mean, is normally obvious, but sometimes it isn't. Really, I probably shouldn't even be doing it, but whatever. We ball. Don't judge. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and just look at the input really quick. It's taken forever. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty well as you'd expect. I'm glad that they put it in this format because I kind of expected them to force me to like parse the information myself, which would have been annoying. So I think it literally can just be boiled down to 3 different if statements. So let's check if, all right, let's start with the year, I think. So if year 2 minus year 1 is greater than or equal to 1, because if that is the case, there's a fine of 10,000 hackos. So the fine becomes 10,000, right? Cool. So otherwise, what we're going to say is if the month 2 minus month 1 is greater than or equal to 1, then the fine was, what was it? It was 500 hackos times the numbers of days late. Interesting. If the book is returned after the expected month but still within the same calendar year. So this is interesting because if we're just talking straight days late and we're not considering that like months roll over and you can have, 90 days late in 3 months, then that's easy. But if we're considering months have different days in them. So I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to look at the examples. So let's see what we have. So over here, okay, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and just take the D1 minus D2 and yeah, well, we can't do much better than this for the time being until we have like a little bit better information. So the other situation, so if the year is the same, the month is the same, else we will just take a fine and we'll set it to 15. Wow, 15 hackers was just looking so cheap. Not no more. Alright, so we're going to run this, and we're going to see how this does, but I have a strong feeling this is not going to work in our favor. What I'm really curious about is just like how many days are in a month according to this, because there's different days. Is it really expecting me to like actually go through the effort of finding calendar days and their corresponding values? Because I will not be doing that. So something I did here was terribly wrong. 15 times D1, D2. Okay, well day 1 would technically come after day 2. No, it would come... Why is that like that? Like if you were at the 30th of the month versus like the 15th of the month, you know, D2 minus... What is the later date? What is going on here? So D1 is 9, D2 is 6. The month's the same, the year's the same. So D2 is the older or the younger date of the two? Why does that make any sense? That's dumb. Weird choice of formatting there. But that kind of means I need to go back and flip pretty much everything. It's unfortunate. Alright, let's try this. Okay, so we got to pass on this. I'm going to go ahead and just submit it and see how we do. I can't imagine. Oh, God. A lot of errors. Okay. So the expected output here is 0. Oh, I forgot the case where everything's on time. Okay. All right. So the first one is if the year equal to 1, on time, else if... It's kind of funny, I have to do a check for every one of these. D1 minus D2 is greater than or equal to 1. All right, so the final check, hopefully, will be returning... Actually, I don't even need a final check. Okay. Let's try this. Well, I can't run it. I hate when they only give you one example to work from. Like, what information can I really deduce from this? I mean, like, the bare bones, maybe, but... Okay, significantly better. That fixed a lot of the issues we were having. I'm going to check 4. You know, another thing I really hate is when they throw, like... They'll throw examples at you that you can't even copy paste. Like you can't even copy paste the input because it's truncated. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and copy this input and run a custom test against it. Let's see what I want to like look at the structure of the data as it's given to me. That's why I really like putting the console log statement at the top, regardless of like how obvious the information is. So day 1 is 2, and the D2 is, okay, so there's a 1 day difference. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe these should be decoupled. So what if instead of saying else, I just said this? Like, this should fix it, I think. Because if you're looking at this and you're like reading through like how this works, that like with how I had it with like the else's stack, there's actually no way for any precision as far as like considering days and months. Like it was basically you can only consider days, months, or years individually. Sometimes I just feel so dumb for like making mistakes like that, but whatever. I was gonna test it against the custom input, but I kind of forgot what the output should be. If it's 6 months late, then why? Oh, because I have equals, so I need plus equals. Jesus. You know, sometimes I just... The test case just passed, but obviously this is like a very limited test case, so I'm going to try to hit submit and see what happens. Alright. I can't believe it passed so many test cases with like so much wrong. Okay, so test case 4, which I believe we had working, doesn't work anymore. Oh no, we didn't have it working. Oh, the expected output's 3,000. I need to memorize that. 515. That is a long shot from what it was supposed to be. Okay. So, all right. I don't know how this happened, but I have days for months, which definitely is not correct. I can't believe how many of these it's passing when so much is wrong. Okay. Well, now it's... What is this? Like, seriously, what is this? How does that make any sense? Okay, well, the thing that's tripping me up now is it's saying that my output's 30,000, or gosh, 3015, and that kind of makes sense to me because D2 or D1 is 2, D1 is 1, or God, D1 is 2, D2 is 1. There's a 1 number difference between the two. So, like, what? Why wouldn't that? Why wouldn't that be considered a difference? Like, why wouldn't number of days late? The book is returned after the expected return day, but is still within the same calendar month and year. I don't see why that's wrong. All right, I'm going to go back and look at the examples because I feel like I'm just missing some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and look at the discussions because at this point, I don't think there's any reason for me to just sit here and make myself feel terrible. Not feel terrible, just like waste my time for no reason. There's never any JS solutions, man, I swear to God. God, I can only imagine what people think when they see me posting like TypeScript solutions. They're like, what is this guy doing? Here we go. Okay, so this guy went and found the differences. All right, so why does this guy say that if year 1 is equal to year 2, then there's a difference or it's 0? Because, like, there's a difference regardless, is there not? Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. Just forget I even said that. I like this guy's code. He did good. Wow, this is like really weird syntax. I've actually never... Okay, so there's 2 question marks. Like this looks like a ternary operator. I'm going to ChatGPT with this, guys. I'm kind of confused. I'm gonna have him just... That's crazy. I can just shut off a VPN in the middle of like a prompt and it'll just continue. Okay, so nested ternary operator, no shit. Okay, let's see what it looks like expanded. Oh, wow. Okay, so it seems like the issue in my code was that I'm not doing a check to make sure that, guys, best programming. Listen, I'm about to put you guys onto something. Window key, Control V, bro. I don't know if everybody knows that. I did not. So leave me alone if y'all knew that. Don't be dissing. Okay, so I don't even think this is the right input. Why do I have to submit my code to get access to the test cases? I mean, it's just so stupid. And a day after. I don't understand. Like, I get that I don't have a check for, like, that sort of a situation, but still. I be over night, feeling still. Yeah, ChatGPT's got a good point. I can turn this into a return statement. Oh, because I decoupled them... Okay, because I decoupled them, I can no longer rely on the old logic that I had. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's why that happened. God, simple things like this. You would think this would be so easy, but there's depth to it. Jesus Christ. The rebel just kicks in. I can feel it like it's 1966 then. Okay, ChatGPT, you're dumb. All right. 3,000 as expected. Let's hit submit. One test case? Are you frickin' joshing? Expected output 0, and that's because it was returned before, right? Why does that happen? Ah, the month failed me. If year 1 is less than or equal to year 2. Go, why? Just why? For what? For what? What are you mad at me for, huh? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is just absurd. I don't like you. Okay, I don't know why ChatGPT decided to use equality operators because All right. Ooh. What is this? What is this? Why is it like this? Why is the output not 0? None of these ever should have happened, and it's this one that's failing if I'm not mistaken. If year 1 is less than or equal to year 2, which it is, oh, okay. It should be the other way, I believe. Because I'm making sure that there's a possibility for a fine. Gosh, man, it's so stupid how I miss things like this. Alright, so I think just for the purpose of this being cleaner, so the way I'm seeing this, oh, dude, I don't even want to talk about how I'm seeing this. Clearly I'm not. It's not going my way. This is like honestly such an embarrassing way to start the series. But I am saying from noob to pro. Like, so this is definitely the noob days. Please just work. Please just work. Okay, it worked. But let's try on some other test cases. Test case 4, just doing me dirty all the time, man. What is up with you? Why are you like this? Test case 4 is just coming for me, man. It's eating my lunch. And the expected output is 3,000, if I do say so. Too many times. Okay. So, they're the same year, so the first condition's true. This comes back to the same thing, though. It was returned, what, 6? Is this the month? Yeah. So it was returned a day late, and it was returned 6 months late. Bruh, listen. I'm pulling this over to the other side so you guys can see this. This is just ridiculous. All right. Look what it says. Look what it says. Your analysis is correct for the given input. The book is returned on the 2nd of July, 20, whatever. I don't care. Look at it. Look at it. 6 months late at 500, just like I would think. And then 1 day late. Why? What is the reasoning? Revised? Revised? What? Are you telling me I've not understood the problem this whole time? This is one of the fun parts that you guys, like, if you're really trying to get good at this stuff, this is one of the things that you'll come across. A lot of the time, getting these questions right actually really boils down to understanding the problem. Albert, God, I have a gaming account called Albert Einstein, so you're gonna have to forgive this. Albert Einstein, he said something along the lines of, if you give him, I don't know, an hour to read the question or something, he'll spend 40 minutes understanding the question and 20 minutes solving it, or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact numbers, but obviously here, I probably would have solved this a lot quicker if I would have understood What about the question makes that apparent, though? Within the same calendar year and month. All right. Well, pretty unfortunate that I didn't catch that to begin with. Oh my god. I don't want to split the tabs. Can you not do that? All right, here's what we're going to do. I don't feel like programming the actual solution at this point. Kind of learn my lessons. All right, so what was learned from this? Learned that reading and understanding the question is much more important than... It's something I need to continue to work on. All right, whatever. Noob to pro. On to the next.